Are you ready? Yeah. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of CREview. Today we are chatting to Max Fisher. Boom.
It's nice to not have that feeling of, I got to be cold calling every day, all the pressure on myself. It's like the business comes to me and it's all just coming to me from social media and mostly Google.
What Max does is difficult stuff.
Yeah.
This is not easy stuff to sell. This is not a $20 million home. These are industrial warehouses. And yeah.
This is also a man that has closed 70 plus transactions each year for the past 4 years. The man's killing it.
He's killing it, and his content is really interesting. Like, I honestly, I can watch that shit. He's a good storyteller, which is why he's doing so well. So this is going to be a cool one. If you worried about how to get into marketing yourself as a broker and prospecting and do all these things, this is the podcast to watch. Boom. Okay, cool. I mean, the first thing I think that as a commercial real estate broker in 2023, how important do you think social media is for your industry and the guys doing what you're doing?
I think it's right up there. It could be the most important aspect of commercial real estate right now. And there's so much opportunity in it because most of the crowd in commercial real estate is older. And so it offers a lot of opportunity compared to residential where it's so saturated. It's also, for anyone that's beginning in real estate, there's never been a time like this where you can reach the entire world or your target market for free. I mean, you're just creating videos or you're writing tweets and you're posting them out there. So it's a cool time to get started in this business and leverage social media.
Yeah, I mean, that immediately makes me think of, and we keep on harping on about it, is the TikTok chat we had with Eddie Gonzalez, where he spoke about that commercial real estate property owner who was a doctor, and he found Eddie by watching a TikTok, and that's how he got in contact with Eddie. And he was 70 years old, and he was like, everyone was saying that your audience isn't on TikTok, it's commercial real estate.
Yeah.
And that's how he made that connection through TikTok with a 70-year-old man. So you guys are tapping into that, and
I mean, you guys you're basically the pioneers of this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's so crazy because it's been the entertainment value on TikTok is one whole side of it, and that's, our clients mostly only ever see that. They're like, oh, we're not 21-year-old girls, and we're not going to be doing dances, and we're just like, you should search hashtag commercial real estate and just see what's actually happening out there and what the guys are doing. And when they do that, they're like, oh, wow, okay. I didn't know this was a thing. And that's you guys are pioneering this stuff, going forward. There are a few doing it really, really well.
Does it feel like you guys are doing that as well? That's
do you feel like you're a pioneer?
We have you guys up on a pedestal. Does it feel like you guys are killing the game with using social media, or is it just sort of a day-to-day, a norm that you guys sort of just do?
I would say it's more of a day-to-day thing. I recognize it more the impact when I look at the actual numbers and look at my TikTok, and there's 75,000 followers. As far as financial impact, TikTok doesn't pay very well, but I'm working to monetize that, and I'll get some leads every now and then. I see it as building a foundation. I've spent a few years now providing value by teaching other people about commercial real estate through these videos on TikTok or through my tweets, and later on down the road, I'll monetize that more, working on a YouTube channel, some more long formatted about some commercial real estate deals that I'm investing in, some developments, stuff like that. So, and really it's fun for me, and it's fun to connect with people. It's fun to document it, get involved in different deals. So I would say most importantly, it's just fun for me.
Yeah. So it's great that you're in a position to be having fun with it. I think a lot of people, their first thoughts are this is super scary. How do I start? How do you get going with this? Super stressful. Yeah, it's another whole job on top of your job that you already have. what was like your first step into that? Because you didn't just jump straight into having like 72,000 followers on TikTok.
Yeah, so I actually started advertising my business and all my posts on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. And the goal of that was to drive traffic to my website. That's my website right there, industrialtucson.com. And so the more, like, I would write a blog post and then I would post it onto Facebook, and then all the people in my market, you know, this is more local advertising. People would go to my website, it would drive more traffic, and then Google would rank me higher. So then when people would search for an industrial real estate broker in Tucson, they would find me because of all the traffic that was being driven from social media. And then I just kind of became like a brand in my local market on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. So people were reaching out to me about commercial real estate through Facebook and LinkedIn, and it grew from there. Well, I thought, well, if I'm doing this successfully on a local level, why don't I just take this as far as I can and teach people about commercial real estate, you know, globally or nationally. So it originally turned out, it originally started with me trying to get more traffic to my website to be shown on Google. And really that's been the foundation of my business, is people calling me from Google instead of me spending hours a day cold calling, which is your typical commercial real estate route to take. So, I mean, I sold a 60,000 square foot tortilla manufacturing facility from someone that found me on Google. Sold a 30,000 square foot airplane hangar on 18 acres from them finding me on Google. So it's been a cool journey. And
so you've tapped into the power of marketing from the beginning, you would say. Like you unlocked the power of Google.
How long have you been doing it for, Max? Like, were you running Google ads, or was it mostly just like SEO?
Yeah, so I mean, I got into commercial real estate, I think in 16, and then I just started posting like on Facebook and Instagram, and then started building my website. In 18, I started doing Google AdWords, and it started to click a little bit. In 19, it blew up. That's when like I sold a 60,000 square foot manufacturing plant from Google. Like I did some pretty wild deals just from people finding me on Google. So it kind of clicked in 19, and it's just been growing ever since then. And now it's just on autopilot, and it's nice to not have that feeling of, you know, I got to be cold calling every day, you know, all the pressure on myself. It's like the business comes to me, and at this point I kind of pick and choose and refer a lot. I refer more business out than I actually work with at this point, and it's all just coming to me from social media and mostly Google.
That is wild.
That's so cool. That's the power of what we do and digital marketing, and what we're trying to get the commercial real estate industry to kind of realize, like the power of doing all of this stuff. And it's taking a really long time for a lot of people to sort of catch on to this. And most of the time when I'm presenting strategies and plans to do all of these things, it's a lot of time it goes over people's heads, and it's just like, that's cool, but like, you know, I'm used to my old ways and doing things like that, and that's fine. But I think, you know, the likes of Max and the guys that are really just doing that little bit extra in terms of posting on certain channels, creating this short format video content, are going to see like the dividends in the future. And so I look at your TikTok channel today, and I was going through your videos, and I, some of them have got like insane numbers as well, like, a couple like 500,000 views.
Some went viral for sure.
Some went super viral as well, and there are various reasons for that, obviously. But I looked at the comments, and like, it wasn't spam and shit. Like we normally see on, like, you'll see on other channels, and there's like a lot of spam.
They're like promoted on Arizona cinematography.
This was like guys really commenting on what you were talking about in a really interesting way. And I went into their profiles, and I had a look at a lot of them, and it was young guys, like it was young dudes, in their 20s, who were like getting involved in this conversation that you were having on TikTok around a certain subject. And that for me is the future of commercial real estate. Like if you, as a big CRE company on these channels, talking to that future audience, you're only talking to the guys that have got the money now. Like you're missing out on an entire future demographic. So I think like what you're doing is it's so forward thinking, which is pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, I feel like Max, I feel like you are Mr. Miyagi in this commercial real estate industry. You got all these Daniel sons out there, and you're just sort of teaching them to wax on, wax off, and like you are like the only like person that I see predominantly doing this like educational sort of content. It's really cool.
Yeah, people love, like what I've seen is people love like the how-to in under 60 seconds. So like I made a video recently where this guy bought like all this vacant, basically desert land for really cheap, and he built like a private racetrack, like country club, and building condos on it and stuff like that. So if you go through the process of all this, it doesn't even have to be your own stuff. And I think that's what people get caught up in. They're like, I'm not doing interesting stuff enough. Go talk to someone else who's doing something that you find interesting, document it, and then you're going to get views from that. And then people get too caught up in thinking that their own career is too mundane or whatever. And it's really not.
Yeah, it's stepping outside of the box.
The basics and the fundamentals and what you're going through on a daily basis, you never really know what's going to hit and what's not.
Yeah.
Like when I look at your content as well, like for me, I think what you're doing super well is you're painting this picture for people. And I think that's like, especially the listings posts, those listings videos where, you know, I think the big thing for you is like you're doing industrial, you know, real estate as well. It's not beautiful stuff. You know, these aren't like $20 million homes that it's really easy to have beautiful photos and videos of, and people are automatically going to engage with that.
They're not easy to stage.
Properties that are like, you know, this is not beautiful content. But what I love about what you're doing is that you're painting a picture of this property and like telling a bit of a story behind it, and then people are naturally like
envisional
to like have this vision of, oh shit, I could do that with it, and that's like, I've seen other guys doing listings video and it's like, hey, this is what we got, this is how many square feet it is, etc. But I think you've like turned the volume up a little bit in terms of that little storytelling approach and making it seem like this place is actually like really epic if you visualize it that way. And I think that you found that like such a cool niche there. And I think that's a big part of it, is like finding that little niche, you know, the how-to videos, the education stuff.
Yeah. So, really the only way to know how your content is going to perform is by doing it. And like my videos, you know, they weren't the best videos, but after putting out, say like 20 or 30, you know, you kind of recognize like what's doing well and what's not. Like you said, storytelling. I didn't really understand that until, you know, probably 50 posts in. Like, you tell the story, people love that. So you really have to get out there, make some mistakes, you know, take on the criticism, and you'll figure it out from there. It's never glamorous when you first start, and that goes for anything, not just social media.
Definitely.
You got to test. You got to see what works.
Testing, especially in this industry that's sort of only getting into all of this stuff now.
What first few steps should brokers do, and as your advice to starting their marketing journey?
The first steps, I would say just start documenting, you know, something that you're doing during the day, and pay attention to the feedback. I would say the most important aspect of creating content is the hook. And there are plenty of articles online about, you know, 50 different TikTok hooks that capture the headline. Because everyone's got TikTok brain. Everyone has a 10-second even less than that, probably 3-second attention span. So if you can capture their attention within that first like 3 to 5 seconds, then you're pretty good. So focus on the hooks and just document your journey.
Awesome. I like that.
True.
And what are you doing besides video content that is working well for you?
So when I first started, the best thing that I did was blogging, and then taking those blogs, posting them on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, and driving that traffic to my website. So, I still do that every now and then, but that's a great thing to do if you're trying to generate inbound leads from your local market. Separate from that, I'm consistent with the TikTok content, some Instagram content. Just got on Twitter a few months ago, and now my next step is making more high quality, long formatted YouTube videos.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll be looking out for those, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just on the next one, you said that a lot of your business comes to you now, and you're referring people new business. What prospecting tactics do you advise brokers should adopt, ones that you've seen work?
So from the broad angle, the way I look at it, your goal should be to be omnipresent. So you want to be like a virus. You're just spreading into everyone. And people can't get you out of their brain. So you're posting content on Twitter, you're posting content on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, blog posts. And a lot of it can be recreated, just in a different form. Same idea, just in a video format.
Yeah.
Same idea, but text content for Twitter. So, and then I would say get into Google AdWords. The profit margins in commercial real estate for Google AdWords are just ridiculous. I don't think I've ever spent more than $200 a month on Google AdWords. If you sell a $2 million building,
ROI.
It's the opportunity with Google AdWords combined with search engine optimization on your website. It's just incredible in this world. And the reason those margins are so high is because of the average age in commercial real estate, because no one's really doing this stuff. They don't even see the value in it. I can't tell you how many people laughed at me for making a website when I first started it. People laughed at me for making my TikTok, because the common theme of TikTok is 13-year-old girls dancing. You get 70,000 followers. Don't worry about when people run their mouths either. Keep doing your thing.
100%. I think it's absolutely wild. Like the whole Google AdWords thing for me, because the huge thing about commercial real estate and Google AdWords is that people are literally typing in a specific location and property type. And if you target those keywords, it's so specific already, and if hardly anyone else is doing it, you're going to be absolutely killing it. And Max, you saw the light there, which I don't think, that many people do see that light. So well done on doing that, man. That's kudos to this.
We do that all the time. We Google, you need car repairs. You Google car repair, Arizona. You do that on a daily basis with everything else. It's just looking at what you're doing for other people essentially, and how do you do it in that way, because that's it's what we do all the time.
And the difference between Google AdWords and your conventional prospecting methods of cold calling or door knocking is that when people go onto Google and they search, they are already in the market.
They have intention.
Calling people that may not make a decision for 5 or 10 years. It doesn't mean that it's not productive, because it definitely is. But if Google AdWords and being found on Google through SEO is essentially throwing a net out there, pulling in a bunch of fish, and then cold calling and door knocking is just spear fishing. And it's much more productive. The profit margins are just ridiculous.
You got the paperwork ready to sign. You're like, oh, you wanted this one, cool, just sign here, instead of being
it's like It's ridiculous that not everyone's doing this. Yeah, I don't want to. It makes me angry. But yeah,
I remember I got a call. This was little more than 2 years ago from this older gentleman who owned an airplane hangar, and I meet him out there. We get a listing agreement, and I get a buyer within like 3 or 4 weeks. I did both sides of this deal. It was a 6-figure commission, and my budget isn't more than $200 a month. And the fact that people were laughing at this strategy before,
I mean, the return on that ad spend is like absolutely insane. That's so cool.
A lot of the times it's really tough to convey. I mean, you guys get it, but a lot of the times people are so conditioned by this like get rich quick stuff. They think everything is too good to be true. If you hear a margin like $200 a month on marketing and then a 6-figure commission, it doesn't add up, but it
sounds like a scam.
True. It's real.
Yeah, it is real.
I feel like this is not going to be like that for, obviously, like,
it's not going to be like this forever. You know, people are eventually going to catch on, like everything. The difference, I think, is that the digital marketing world is moving so fast. Right, and most commercial real estate people, brokers, whatever, have not really even caught up to basic Google ads.
Which is like day one,
which is so old already, and we're moving into like the realm of AI now, and what all of that's gonna mean for everyone. So while we say like the industry's gonna catch up, it may catch up to it may catch up, but we're gonna, guys like you are gonna be already on the next thing and the next thing.
Can never actually just stay up to date.
It almost feels like it's not gonna ever catch up to where we are because this industry moves so fast.
Unless you take the initiative to then go and learn and do it for yourself. But there must be at least like a 7 to 10 year lag in terms of marketing.
I don't even know.
It'd be interesting to see.
People start to catch up when it comes to Google AdWords, and that expense increases 1,000%, and now you're spending $2,000 a month on Google AdWords. You close the 6-figure commission in a month. Those numbers still pencil out.
It's still baby stuff. It's still a massive return.
No,
awesome.
All of the efforts that you put into generating business, whether it's cold calling, door knocking, posting on social media, building up your website, Google AdWords, posting on LinkedIn, all of that stuff, sending out snail mail market updates to all these owners. The reputation that I earned from becoming omnipresent and just being stuck in everyone's brains, being known as the hustler, was more valuable than those actual actions. Because I did make money from cold calling. I did make money from Google AdWords. I continue to make money in all of those avenues. But so many people have referred me business and can't get me out of their head when they're looking to sell their building because of my reputation. And it takes years to build your reputation, to build your brand. So just keep doing all that stuff. Even if you don't see results right away, you're going to build that reputation as a hustler. People are going to seek you out. Give it a couple years.
And that is what social media and marketing is about. It's building reputation, building trust.
But also building, like, having that patience to just keep doing it. So I think, like, I think it's hard for people to kind of get around that. It's like, well, I want to do this for a few months and I want to see the results immediately. And I mean, you started in 16, right? I mean, that's 6 years ago, 7 years ago this year. And we talk about this all the time. Like a guy like Mr. Beast, who's the biggest YouTuber on the planet, and insanely wealthy, and he started out in like, what was it,
2010
or 2008. Like, he's been doing it for a super long time. It's not like he woke up one morning and he started a channel and then he was a millionaire the next day. Like, this stuff takes repetition and consistency and patience, and that's, I think, is a massive part of it. And like, just consistently doing what you're doing, I love that omnipresent metaphor, like the virus, like getting into everyone's like feeds and like into their inboxes and into all those places, because what you're doing is you're building a community around, your brand, Max Fisher. And when people think of something, they're going to think of you.
Yeah.
That's what you want to be doing.
Yeah, you can't be shy. You got to back yourself. It's got to be like, listen, I'm doing this.
However weird it might feel in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, we felt weird sitting in front of a camera at first, talking to each other.
Yeah.
And it can get disheartening. Like after a while, you're like, oh, like I want to see those results. The same thing is like sometimes you post a TikTok or a reel and you don't see the views that you want. You just got to keep doing it, and slowly but surely it will happen. I mean, you just got to keep at it.
Right, and pay attention to the small wins. So many people get caught up in comparing themselves to others, but if you focus, every new follower that you get matters. So and it compounds over time. It's like when you look at compound interest and how it builds.
Yes,
it doesn't just light off at first, but it grows exponentially over time.
Yeah, and we're not selling sneakers. We're not selling like the latest.
I'm not allowed to use my
I'm using Dylan's metaphors, but I mean this is a niche industry. Can't.
It's a long game. It's a long sales process. It doesn't happen like not buying jewelry for your girlfriend the night before Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
this is. There's a lot of thought that goes into like buying a property or leasing a property or whatever it is, and so you already have to have that bit of patience anyway.
Yeah. Speaking of, did you ever think you would become a commercial real estate somewhat influencer? Looking back, like when you started to now,
was that a goal, or did that just happen naturally?
No, it wasn't a goal. Yeah, I mean, it just happened, I guess. So at this point in my life, I'm not necessarily focused on getting to a certain spot. I'm just having fun with it and letting it flow. And I actually think I'm growing faster because it's more organic. People know I'm authentic. I'm having fun with it. People pick up on my energy. They feed off of my energy. So we'll see where it goes. I mean, I think it'd be cool to have a YouTube channel or, like some type of flipping TV channel for commercial real estate or something like that. But we'll just see where it goes. I mean, just keep providing content for people that they like and they can learn from, and something will come from it. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I watched your YouTube videos. They were really cool. I enjoyed it. And like, I'm not a commercial real estate broker, and I am interested in commercial real estate, but even then, I was like, I'm learning about it, and it was like, I thought it was really cool.
Well, I think the big thing before we sort of end this is like, you're creating content that is relevant to your audience. Like they're learning something from what you're doing. You're not just out there being like, hey, I'm Max Fisher, I do real estate, come and buy my property, lease my property. Like, please do it. You're creating that community where people are now trusting you. You're building that brand loyalty because you're giving them great advice, good guidance. Like, you're educating them that they can potentially make money. Like, everyone's in it to make money at some stage, and that's what you're doing.
And indirectly looking at you and being like, this guy's a thought leader. He knows to the point where he can share his knowledge.
I trust
Max. Yeah,
he's giving us the goods.
Yeah.
Yeah. So well done, Max.
Yeah.
We love to see it. We love to see the relevant content. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you guys. I enjoy listening to your content as well, and we'll keep building content and grow our following. So.
Yeah, we got this.
Awesome. So thanks so much for taking the time out of your day. I know you brokers are super busy all the time, so we really do appreciate it, and we'll obviously tag you in everything, and hopefully this will probably come out in a couple of weeks. But
and we can catch up again when both of our channels are huge and we like super famous.
Keep a lookout for more quality content on YouTube, longer format. That's my goal for this year.
Okay. Awesome.
Quality, long formatted content on YouTube.
Yeah. And then long format can be short form as well. sorry, just to add a last little 2-second thing. I saw this thing about the Cinnabon strategy with this, and obviously you get your big Cinnabon, which is your full long form content. Then you get mini Cinnabons, bond bites, all of those little pieces. I'll send it to you after this, and it's like taking your long form and breaking it up into so many different forms of content. So it's like super valuable. Yeah, it's a good strategy to have.
That's a great point, because if you film the longer format, you can chop it up and you can take little pieces of it, put it on TikTok, on Instagram, and you can drive the traffic to the long formatted link on YouTube. So great point.
But you can have your YouTube link live on your website as well, so you can have little previews of people spending more time on your website.
But YouTube's the place to be. Like, you're definitely doing you're going to the right platform. That long format content on YouTube is like, if you can grow that following and that community there, like, there's big rewards that are coming in terms of for content creators and the creator economy and all of that. So definitely the right decision, Max.
Yeah. Well done.
All right. Cool.
Awesome.
Cool. Thanks so much for chatting to us. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
See you out there,
Thanks, Max.
Cheers. That was epic.
That was great. Yeah.
That was really cool. Again, thanks to Max Fisher. If you want to check out Max's stuff, have a look at the links down below. And if you're a commercial real estate broker, and even if you're not in industrial property stuff, just like look at it. Look what he's doing. He's documenting. He's being interesting, and
he's just doing it.
Get out there and start, guys. Cool, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps Josh put food on the table.
Please, starving.
And share it with your friends if they're in the game.
Yeah.
And where are we next week? I think we're going to next week.
Also, give Max a follow. Check him out.
Definitely follow Max. Like, if we haven't made that clear already, you better be.
You should be already.
You should have already. You should have had another tab open and followed him already.
Yeah.
But I think we're on tour next week.
Next week might be on tour. Yeah.
The bosses are on tour this week.
Coming back.
And then I think we sent off somewhere. I don't know where yet. I'm hoping it's somewhere
tropical. Yeah.
I'm really hoping for tropical.
Yeah. Remember that episode? I think it was episode 6. We were out in the snow. I just rewatched it. It was quite a story.
I don't miss those days.
No.
Okay, well, tune in next week, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show today.
Yeah.
Later.
Cheers.
Ciao.